So we thought we'd bring you in behind the scenes on a peak power session. So you're going to be a fly on the wall during this. This is going to be peak power, really good for contact athletes. I don't train like this much anymore. I used to train like this all the time when I was a player. This is really beneficial off the back of like a strength block. It's always good to get your strength ceiling high, then do power. So if you're quite new to training, I'd recommend a strength block, then do power if you want to maximize getting powerful. So we're going to walk and talk you through this as we do it. Me and Gassy are actually going to do the session for real. So we're going to start off with some rack bench and with a med ball press, Gass, is that right? With a med ball press. So we'll explain to you what we're doing, why we're doing it. This is like a contrast set. We'll dig into that in a bit. But come inside, take a look. Power session for upper body. This is what you need to do. There's been a lot of research, Gash, hasn't there? I've noticed it's come out lately. It's been a bit of a trend on Instagram about you don't need to do warm-up sets. Now, I think that means if you didn't do a warm-up set, you can still kind of achieve the same adaptation, but we would still recommend warm-up sets just because it gets you, see, when it comes to power stuff, you want to fire up your nervous system. So I'll find you'll get more out of your set. Say I just loaded this up now to 120. I think what they're saying is you're not any more likely to cause injury if I just did a 120 now. But I always like to do a few warm-up sets because it just gets your nervous system fired up. You might lift a little bit more as well. So yeah, you don't maybe have to do warm-up sets from the research, but I think just to get used to the sort of movement pattern, get your nervous system fired up, just do a couple of easy warm-ups just for 3 reps, just to get you going. I don't know what your opinion is of that, but I personally like a couple of warm-ups.
I feel like a bag of shit if I don't warm up.
Yeah, it just fires you up,
I just don't feel like I can get like anywhere near where I would.
And by the way, we have warmed up as well.
It takes 2 seconds as well.
Yeah.
We've done our mobility and our prehab stuff.
Yeah, I've done some prehab bits, so we're good to go.
Couple build-up sets, 3 or 4 of these, and then we're flying. We've got 4 sets of 3 today, about 85 to 87%. So your 3 rep max is typically 90%. So as you can see, we're working slightly in reserve. That just allows us to get a bit of a better bar speed and a quicker contraction, just to kind of help with that kind of power kind of stimulus. And then we're going to pair that then. So we've got some loaded power work. We're then going to pair that with a med ball throw, which is going to be that sort of light power, fast contraction, throw it maximally. That's the contrast set there. Happy days. 5 to 87%. So it's a rep in reserve. The nice thing about it is it's still a strength stimulus, which is the main thing we're looking to focus on. So it's called concurrent training. We don't want to lose any of the good strength gains that we've made in our last max strength block. So you've got to have a strength stimulus in there to keep your ceiling high for power. And then we'll bring in some power stuff in there to help with that speed of contraction.
Nice this with a rack bench as well. You don't need a spotter. It's a nice one to do by yourself. It's a good point you make, Gas. Like, just because we're doing a peak power session doesn't mean that everything we do is just power. So like, we're not just doing 9 sets of power. Like, you can still train strength and power at the same time, but still call it a power block. It just means we're focusing on power. So we still pepper in enough strength to keep what we've got, but the focus is on power. So you don't just train one exclusively, do you? You can still train them side by side.
No, it's like a pendulum almost. You kind of, say for example, a normal periodization might go hypertrophy, strength capacity, strength, max strength, power, some sort of periodization there. Even in the hypertrophy stuff, I'll still have a power exercise in there to keep the nervous system firing, to keep that kind of component of fitness or performance in there. But then as we move through, you might introduce more contrast sets, you might introduce more sprint training, more plyometric work. So you kind of swing the pendulum either way. And for example, in a power block now, we might just have a few hypertrophy top-ups, but nothing too crazy. So our focus is more on the strength and power side.
Okay, a really important thing here for Gassy is one, it's good to do it straight after. It's called PAP, post-activation potentiation. So Gassy's gone heavy here. She's recruiting almost all his muscle fibers when he's lifting this heavy weight. So you come here to a lightweight, now it should just be bang, and it just flies up. You don't want to grind this out. So this isn't going to be a 20 kilo med ball, 10 kilo med ball. This is 6. So you want this to really travel. That's what power training is. Power training doesn't cause fatigue. So it's not like, oh, let's go until I feel a bit of lactic. It's just 3 shit hot reps, really fast. Do it after something really heavy, and that's how you can incorporate strength and power nicely together.
Yeah, just on that as well, it's not the exercise which is power,
Yeah.
So it's not
good
just
point.
because you're doing a med ball throw, it becomes powerful. Like if I'm going into it now and my rep looks like this, that's no longer a power exercise. It's the intent that you put behind it which makes it powerful.
Yeah.
So really focus on being as explosive as possible
Yeah.
and getting that quick
Something
contraction.
you can move very fast, you're right. This is nice. I don't train like this anymore. It's quite nice to mix it up.
So we decided just to jump in a little bit further on in like a normal thing. So week 1 was like 3 sets at like 5 reps. So we're kind of just showing you a bit more of an intense version. So we're going for the 4 sets of 3.
And what rest times, Gas? Because we see a lot of people making mistakes on rest times for this.
Yeah, rest times, I mean, when you're looking at strength and power, contrast sets, they're demanding sets and we're looking for quality over quantity with them. So you're probably going to be up around 3-4 minutes minimum really. Yeah. 5 if you're feeling a bit sluggish on the throws, but you probably won't need to get up to 5. But 3 or 4 minutes, making sure we're getting some good quality on the strength and obviously the power as well.
This is not bodybuilding. Like I say, we can pepper the bodybuilding at the end with some like volumey sets, but this is much more quality over quantity. So if you're not feeling that big lactic, it's like, don't worry, that's not the goal of this. The goal of this is strength and power. So that'll come later on in the session. I'm going to give you just 3 coaching cues to bench press, only because if you've done bench press a lot, you'll know what to do. But if you're quite new to bench press, it's quite common just to get under that bar and just use all your might and do it. And you end up with poor posture and you might end up with some niggly shoulders. So I'm just going to give you just 3 tips. So your feet might not feel important. Your feet are very important because a lot of energy can come through your legs into your chest. So never bench like this. If you see people benching like this or on a Swiss ball or something stupid, they don't know what they're doing, they're just trying to look fancy. So first thing, right, I got to lock in my feet because that weight can come through, that energy can come through. So first thing, right, find a good solid foot positioning. Number 2, while it goes through my head, I fix my shoulder blades. So I kind of squeeze my shoulder blades together. I don't want my shoulder blades loose because my shoulder blades are loose and you end up with rounded shoulders and you get that impingement feeling. So I'm going to put shoulders back, locking my shoulder blades. Then I'm going to put my hands just outside of shoulder width apart. Don't want it too close here. Want to put your wrists on top of your elbows, and I don't want your elbows at 90 degrees. So we don't want you going like this. Bring them in to maybe about 45, maybe 60 degrees, and try and keep them there. So you're not doing benching like that. Keep those elbows tight. So feet, lock in the shoulder blades, hands shoulder width apart, and keep those elbows a bit tighter than 90 degrees to keep your shoulders nice and safe. 3 reps, here we go. And that feels like a rock solid rep. Feet, shoulder blades, elbows. 1 more, feet locked in, shoulder blades locked in, shoulder width apart, keep the elbows in. I got shoulder history of pain, right? I've had loads of shoulder drops, impingement. I get no pain doing that. So lift bench with really good technique and you'll get the return that you want from it. It's nice weight that, 'cause it's hard, but I'm not going max out on the last one, but I'm still hitting that strength.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's nice.
Yeah, definitely. So the way we program it is, this is probably not even 87% for us really, but like there should be a rep or 2 in the tank. We're still hitting strength, but we're not fatiguing yourself too much. So you should feel relatively fresh on this.
You can still build strength leaving a rep in the tank. I think it's important to say that. You don't have to go failure to bench. That's a nice thing for maximizing muscle growth. Go in a failure set, but strength, you actually don't have to go to failure on every set.
A nice point on Warburton's bench there as well. His chest stays high the whole time Never cave into your rep to press it up.
That's because my shoulder blades are locked in.
Keep them locked, keep the chest high, keep yourself in a really
That's
strong
fine.
position.
When you release your shoulder blades, you get those rounded shoulders. That's when you get that impingement or that shoulder pain. Sorry, I said impingement. That's like when you get that sharp shoulder pain in the joint. Just always keep that good posture when you're lifting. Never lose that posture and press
I see
forwards.
that all the time with some of like younger athletes or people who are a bit newer to S&C. They think there's like a max out push like this and they lose their shoulders and they just round up.
Yeah, it's not good.
But that's a complete leak in power. Ready?
Yep.
Come on.
There we are, done there.
Contrast set number 2. We're going into some pulling. So we've got weighted chins with a band assisted chin. Band selection. We're not going for hypertrophy on that second thing. So it's not like a drop set as such, because it sounds like a drop set if you go chin to a band assisted chin. That band assisted is so that we can get more velocity than you'd be able to pull with just your body weight. So band selection, we're going to go for a purple and see how we get on, but probably thicker is going to be better to allow you to actually get a good velocity. So
let's do that.
Might try a green.
Yeah, cool.
Green could be good. But basically what we're looking at, load the chins nice and heavy over 3 reps, and then we're going to pair that straight into, like we did with the throws, into a banded chin then, and what you're looking at is just ripping yourself up. Go up as fast as you can, and that should get a really good power stimulus.
Don't just let this bang go, because you'll do your hammy just ping. Yeah, that was nice. That was lovely. I said that should feel easy, and we want it to feel easy.
Oh my God, yeah. Like that should be a really easy, clean 3 reps.
It's the equivalent with the med ball. It's just speed, like you said. It's a speed, isn't it?
Yeah. Just a nice variation, because with the med ball, it's kind of, slam is good, but I feel like this recruits the pulling a bit more.
Well, med ball slam as well, because you are coming here, a bit like a skier, there is some sort of core recruitment in it as well, because you're curling over, so this kind of isolates that back a little bit more. That's why when I do med balls, I kind of, if I do it, a lot of people end up in this position. I kind of end up in this position. Like because it means you're only using your lats to bring it down, you're not using your core to sort of bring that ball down to the floor. So if you are doing med ball slam, and the purpose is, I just do it for a demo, and the purpose is for power, let's just keep it strict on the lats. That's how you should med ball slam to isolate your pulling movement.
Get this man on a 28.
Still there.
He's just being modest.
I'll tell you what it is, Gas. I actually weighed in at 97 this morning.
Did you?
So my weight's coming down, but I'm holding on to strength. So
You
that's
haven't
like
broken through
really,
yet?
that would normally be a 28, 24 dumbbell. It's probably a 21 because I've lost a bit of, I've leaned out a little bit because I'm doing some extra running.
Got some abs poking through yet?
Nope. Yeah, that's what I'm probably thinking, like I get down to, just for you guys, I'm probably normally around like, first thing in the morning, 100, 101. At the minute, I weighed this morning like 97 and a half. So I'm maybe thinking of just getting down to like 95, but trying to maintain strength, but just get a lot fitter.
Yeah.
That's my sort of target, because me and Gassy might be doing some more high rocks
chopping it
together.
down.
Might be doing some more high rocks together, so I need to lose some timber and get better at running.
That's our strength and power bits ticked off.
See, so that's taken us a good half an hour. So like, that's why we say quality over quantity. Mind, that's 8 quality sets, mind, in 30 minutes with some contrast as well. So yeah, don't rush it. But that's 8 really good strength and power sets for the upper body done there.
This is what I was on about at the start with the pendulum. Now we're just going to have a little bit of a hypertrophy top up, just to make sure we're getting a good stimulus for it and to maintain some of that. but our focus was strength and power. So that's taking up most of the session. We'll probably fly through some through some hypertrophy stuff now. So we've got a landmine tricep. So I'm gonna go for a landmine push, a landmine row, and then a half moon. So a bit of core as well, and then that should finish up our body session.
I reckon 30 for standing. If you're kneeling, it's harder.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a tip. If you're kneeling, right, because it's more of a vertical press, it's going to be harder. It's more like shoulders. So you're not going to be able to lift as much. If you're standing, you can see the angle of so if I'm kneeling, my arm's finishing here. If I'm standing, it's going to finish here. So you can see how it's more horizontal. So it's going to be a bit more chest. So you should be able to lift more when you're standing. We don't really want to use our legs. We still want to isolate our upper body, but you should be heavier standing compared to kneeling. It's more more chest than it is shoulder. Take the floor.
Thank you, sir. Right, 8 each side. Like Warb said there, you got to think about what you want out of the exercise. We're not doing this one for power now. We've done our strength and power. So I want you to try and be as rigid as possible. I don't want to see you kind of bouncing out and using your legs. We're trying to go for hypertrophy, okay? We're trying to go for that hypertrophy stimulus. So just keep yourself locked in and focus on a really good contraction.
So I do this, how nothing's moving but my arms. We don't want your core and your spine caving in and your legs bouncing. We just want to isolate that chest and shoulder. Oh, now this is a big, done there. That's a big core move because as the weight is coming here, I'm fighting really hard with this side of my core to keep me upright. So you'll notice on the opposite side of your arm, this core is working really hard. Left arm then, because I want to go this way, but this oblique is fighting to keep my spine straight, then it's suddenly core on this side. So when you do it both sides, you'll notice, if you haven't done this before and you wake up the next day, get out of bed, feel like, oh, my stomach, it's good. It's just waking up some core muscles you haven't previously used. It's a really good 2-in-1 exercise.
All right, next one, we're into a row. So you can either use a bench and support it, or just plant a hand on your leg. Again, keep yourself rigid, keep yourself in that good position. What I am looking for though, obviously we're looking to go through a hypertrophy kind of stimulus here. I don't mind seeing that shoulder. In fact, I want to see that shoulder kind of coming down and tracking and getting a really good stretch through your back muscles there. So you'll see I'm not kind of rushing here like this. I'm getting a good stretch down the back, trying to get my elbow up nice and high, and just letting the back do all the work.
Also, Gassy makes a good point. I'll face you guys here. Do it with your hand on your knee. Don't think of it as cheating. All that is doing is just taking a bit of strain away from your lower back. We want to focus on working your back muscles. So that's why Gassy mentioned you can have a bench. You can have a bench where you can kneel down here. But a limiting factor is going to be your lower back if you do it like this. So don't be shy. Elbow, hand on your knee, and then just focus on that left-hand side. And you can take the strain off your lower back, really focus on that back pulling. That's also important as well because we don't really want to incorporate a lot of load on your lower back on an upper body day because you're going to have a subsequent lower body day which will need your lower back, whether you're squatting or RDLing. So if we can, we'll try and take the load off your lower back. We want to train it but safely, but we'll take your load off the lower back so when you have got to do legs then, you're not taking in any previous fatigue into that session. So that's why we want to look after that lower back on these upper body days.
Last exercise for the tricep is a landmine half moon, so a bit of core. But we're going down to 6 reps, so 6 reps each side. With this, what I want you to imagine when you're doing a landmine is try and draw the biggest kind of circle you can. So you're really trying to keep that bar away from your center of mass to really challenge your core. The further away it is from you, the harder the exercise is going to be.
That is core strength. That is developing proper core strength. Not doing sit-ups, that's how you get proper core.
Probably one of our favorites, isn't it, for just loading up the core. You always do a good coaching note on this. You can call it half moon, you can call it a landmine rotation, but it's actually a bit more of an anti-rotation exercise, because you can see how Warbs is fighting to not rotate through his midsection there. So the load's moving, you've got to try and keep yourself square and fixed, but so good for developing core strength.
I'll show bad examples. This is what Gassie's taught is a bad example. We just see people doing this. That's not challenging me at all. Not at all. That's all legs, that's all momentum. This, that is bloody challenging me.
So that's our tricep, bit of hypertrophy work. So 3 sets, 8 reps on each side for the landmine press, landmine pull, and then 6 reps on the half moons and really load up the core.
That's that session done. As you can tell, we've hit power, we've hit strength, hit a little bit of hypertrophy. That is in total 8 plus 9. So like 17 sets. Those contrast sets are almost like 1. So that's like 17 sets maximum, but quality over quantity. So if you're a contact athlete or you just want to train like an athlete, that is what a real strength and power session looks like. Give it a go, let us know how you get on. We'll see you on the next one.